You find yourself in an incessant quest for coherence, trying with every breath to achieve a deep peace but still perceiving a subtle disconnect, an internal struggle that insists on echoing within your being. It's a common experience, this fervent dedication to breathing techniques, to each conscious inhalation and exhalation, in the hope that clarity and desired manifestation will finally reveal themselves. I understand this persistent feeling that, despite all the effort, something vital still seems missing, a piece of the puzzle that eludes you. However, what if the very nature of this effort, this incessant desire to control, to force coherence to emerge, is precisely the invisible barrier that prevents your inner intelligence from fully manifesting? Your soul already knows that authenticity resides not in complexity, but in pure intention. You feel the subtle frustration, the doubt that validates your presence, for it is this pain, this search for something deeper, that has brought you to this threshold. It's time to recontextualize the path, to question what it means to breathe with purpose, freeing yourself from the shackles of doing to finally being, allowing your body's innate wisdom to guide the natural flow without forced intervention. Do not try to do this breath unless your observer already seeks deep coherence. This is the paradigm shift, the key you've been waiting for. Imagine that your breath is not an engine you need to start and control, but rather a quantum mirror. It simply reflects with precision the vibrational state of your inner observer. If your observer is immersed in tension or frantic searching, this mirror will show the disconnect. But if your observer is, in its purest essence, already in deep coherence, the mirror of your breath, naturally, will already be in coherence, without the need for forced intervention. In this video, you are about to uncover the secret to activating Observer's breath. Coherence, an approach that transcends mere technique. It invites your consciousness, your silent observer, to assume the role of maestro of your inner orchestra, transforming your state of being from the inside out, without the burden of effort, but with the lightness of permission, redefining your interaction with reality and your ability to manifest with ease. Before we continue to unravel this wisdom, I invite you to a gentle micro-invitation, an invitation to full presence. Close your eyes for an instant now. Allow yourself to feel the ground beneath your feet, the chair that cradles you, the gravity that gently pulls you towards the earth's center. Breathe deeply, not with effort, but with the pure intention of feeling the air that enters and exits, a cycle of renewal that manifests without your intervention. Feel your body, the temple where life's quantum magic happens. Feel every sensation, every heartbeat, every subtle vibration that composes your energy field in this exact moment. Be present. Anchor yourself in the now, for it is only at this point of totality, where the past dissolves and the future has not yet manifested, that true coherence can be accessed in its most authentic form. Allow yourself this pause and this surrender. It is in this space of quietude that the mind silences and the heart opens to receive transformative frequencies. Your presence is the portal, and your consciousness, the observer that unifies all. Relax and feel fully present, in this exact and eternal instant, ready for the revelation that awaits you. Do you feel the persistent exhaustion from trying? This ingrained belief that you need to force each inhalation, manipulate each exhalation, to finally achieve the much-desired peace and coherence? I understand this journey for many of you on your path of self-discovery have been conditioned to believe that effort is the only path to transformation. However, here resides an essential paradigm shift, a revelation that can free your energy and redefine your understanding of manifestation. True coherence is not the result of a battle fought with your physiology, but the natural manifestation of your observer's pure intention. Your consciousness, this point of stillness and inner perception, is the master key. In the vast quantum field that you are, the intention to be already collapses the wave of infinite possibilities into the desired reality. The observer does not do coherence, it is coherence, allowing the body to naturally align. It is a surrender, not an imposition, a recognition of the innate intelligence that already resides within you. It's natural that you have felt compelled to try. We were trained from an early age to believe that discipline and external control are the pillars of success and well-being, and this logic extended, almost imperceptibly, to our internal practices. But what if the root of the frustration you feel when trying to force your breath lies precisely in this programming? The universe does not respond to mechanical effort, but to the vibrational frequency you emanate. Your breath is a subtle mirror, a reflection of the state of your field of consciousness. If the observer is permeated by the need for control, by the anxiety of not yet, the mirror of your breath will show that same fragmentation. The deepest truth is that, in the quantum domain of your existence, your consciousness is the unified field of intention. You are the observer that shapes your reality at every instant, not through arduous struggle, but through the quality of your presence and the clarity of your intention. This is the true lever of transformation. Allow yourself now to go deeper into understanding what it means for the observer to be instead of do. Imagine your consciousness as the vast ocean, while your breath is the waves that naturally form and dissipate on its surface. For a long time, you acted as if you needed to instruct each wave to shape each peak and trough, believing that without your active command, the ocean wouldn't know how to move. But the ocean, in its primordial wisdom, is already movement, is already rhythm, is already coherence. Your observer is that ocean, the totality of your presence, the intelligence that sustains life itself. When you understand that the observer does not need to intervene to create coherence, but simply to recognize the coherence that already exists in its essence, everything transforms. The focus shifts from an external action to an internal resonance. You are not collapsing the wave with muscular effort, but with the pure vibration of your attention, allowing your body's innate intelligence to manifest in perfect harmony. To solidify this understanding, let's return to the powerful metaphor of breath as a swirling river, flowing in its essence, guided by a wisdom that transcends any human effort. For countless moments you, perhaps without realizing, it acted as if you were responsible for every drop of water, for every bend in the riverbed, trying to force the flow of this river, pushing its waters with your own hands. The premise was clear. If I try harder, if I control every aspect, the river will flow with more strength, more purpose, more coherence. However, have you ever stopped to feel the exhaustion that comes from this struggle? The water slips through your fingers. Energy dissipates in the vain attempt to dominate something that already possesses its own intelligence. The struggle to control what is naturally free only generates turbulence, wastes your vital energy, and paradoxically, prevents the river from manifesting its true and powerful current. It is a cycle of effort that does not lead to mastery, but to silent frustration, keeping you trapped on the surface, far from the deep current of your own truth. The true wisdom, the real mastery of the observer, does not reside in trying to control the river of your breath, but in being the present consciousness that gently removes the barriers on its banks. These barriers are not physical. They are the crystallized mental patterns of excessive effort, the ingrained beliefs that peace or manifestation must be earned through incessant struggle, the duty to fix or improve something that, in its origin, is already perfect in its intrinsic nature. The observer, instead of being an external manipulator, becomes the unified field of consciousness, itself that is the landscape the river flows through, the subtle force of gravity that propels it, the innate wisdom that guides the flow in its natural, harmonious, and eternally coherent course. Your conscious presence becomes the element that dissolves resistance, allowing life to flow through you unimpeded. It is a dance of permission and surrender, where you trust in the greater intelligence that organizes your existence, letting coherence reveal itself without any imposed effort. What, then, are these subtle barriers that your observer can gently dissolve? They are the layers of conditioning that convinced you that self-acceptance is a reward and not an innate right. The constant doubt about your ability to manifest, the fear of not being good enough to reach states of deep peace, these mental patterns of effort, of excessive control, of incessant analysis, create internal friction, an invisible turbulence that manifests in your physiology and your breath. Apply the mirror principle. Your breath, the physical manifestation of your energy field, accurately reflects the state of your observer. If the observer is trapped in the illusion of struggle, the breath becomes a battle. If the mind is saturated with thoughts of scarcity or inadequacy, your vibrational energy contracts. Removing these barriers is an act of deep consciousness. It is recognizing that your mind, with its worries and attempts at micromanagement, can be the biggest barrier between you and the coherence your soul so deeply yearns for. Liberation begins with recognition. Feel now the memory of this attempt to force your breath, this imposition of control over what is intrinsically free. Close your eyes for an instant and bring to mind those moments when you felt the need to command each inhalation, each exhalation, with almost military precision. You might notice a subtle tension settling in your body, a stiffness in your shoulders that involuntarily rise, a contraction in the chest area, a clenching in your jaw, or even a slight weight in the center of your forehead. This is the somatization of effort, the physical response of your innate intelligence to the conflict between your intention to do and the natural wisdom of your system. There is no judgment here, only observation. It is evidence that the struggle to control breath is a lost battle, that the body, in its essence, yearns for freedom, for its own rhythm. This tension is a silent invitation to let go, to surrender, to allow the greater intelligence within you to take command, freeing you from the need to impose your will. Now contrast that sensation with the possibility of a breath that flows on its own, guided not by effort, but by the gentle and conscious permission of your observer. Feel the difference in your body at this moment. Just by pondering this new perspective, a lightness begins to settle in, a space opening in your chest, your shoulders imperceptibly relaxing, your jaw unclasps, and a sense of expansion radiates from your diaphragm. This is the somatization of surrender, the sign that your body is ready to operate in a state of natural coherence, without the need for external intervention. It is not something you need to create, but something you allow to emerge when the observer aligns with the truth that there is no need to fight to be. It is the feeling of surrendering to the flow of life, of trusting the intelligence that pulsates in every cell. Coherence is a state of internal harmony, where mind and body dance in unison, and breath becomes the melody of that dance, gentle, deep, and effortless. This is the essence of Observer's Breath Coherence. Not a technique to be mastered through mechanical effort, but a state of being that is activated by consciousness. Your breath is not something separate from you, but a vibrational extension of your energy field, a direct reflection of your totality. When the observer, that point of pure consciousness, within you, recognizes its own innate perfection and the intrinsic perfection of life pulsating through you, the breath aligns. It finds its natural rhythm, its ideal depth, without any intervention from you. It becomes a portal to the body's quantum intelligence, an energy conductor that tunes into the frequency of coherence. You are not doing a coherent breath. You are being the coherent observer, and the breath simply harmonizes with that frequency. It is the end of struggle and the beginning of a frictionless flow, where your energy unifies and expands with each cycle naturally. Now that you feel the difference, now that the myth of effort begins to dissolve in your consciousness, a natural and deeply liberating question arises. Are you ready to let go of control and truly trust in your body's innate wisdom to find its own rhythm of coherence instead of imposing it? The invitation is for a surrender that is not passivity, but an active form of permission to align your consciousness with the quantum intelligence that operates in every cell. Permission is not an absence of intention, but the intention to be in alignment, to recognize the fullness that already exists. It is an act of faith in the process, a trust that your system knows exactly how to self-regulate, how to find perfect balance when you remove the barriers of effort and doubt. Coherence is a gift that reveals itself when you cease the struggle and simply allow existence, guiding your breath into an unprecedented harmony. We understand that the observer does not do, it is. We grasp the metaphor of the river and the barriers of effort. We feel the difference between tension and surrender. But how can we, in our daily lives, apply this understanding and train our observer for this constant permission, this conscious surrender, instead of the exhaustive control we were taught? How can we not only feel, but maintain this state of observer's breath coherence, transforming it into an unshakable foundation for all your manifestations? The next step is not a complicated technique, but a simple and profound practice that invites your consciousness to be the gentle gardener, nurturing the soil of your soul, so that the seed of coherence may flourish effortlessly. If you deeply identified with this struggle, and feel the truth resonate in every fiber of your being. If you yearn for this authentic liberation, leave a yes in the comments below. Your authenticity is a powerful energy that inspires and strengthens the coherence of our entire community and opens the portal to your own transformation without any effort. Have you felt the exhaustion of trying, of forcing each inhalation and exhalation in an incessant quest for a coherence that always seemed one step ahead? This internal struggle, this continuous effort, is the echo of an ancient paradigm that taught us to do in order to be. But what if true mastery lay not in doing the breath, but in allowing it to unfold like a flower blossoming in its own perfect time? This is the turning point of Observer's Breath Coherence, the practice of surrendering to your body's innate flow, trusting in a wisdom that transcends any mechanical technique. Your consciousness, the silent observer, does not need to push the river. It merely needs to clear the banks, removing expectations and tensions so that the natural flow of life, of breath, finds its way, naturally resonating with the totality of your being. Feel for an instant the relief that this permission can bring, the lightness of no longer carrying the weight of having to do it right. This is the essence of unfolding, rather than forcing coherence into your energy field, allowing your body's quantum intelligence to fully manifest. Imagine yourself now as a wise gardener, whose garden is your very being, and whose most precious seed is your breath, carrying the intrinsic potential of coherence. An experienced gardener would never pull at a seed to rush its growth. They know that life has a rhythm, an intelligence of its own. Instead, they nurture the soil, offer the necessary water, ensure adequate light, and above all, trust. You, the observer, are that gardener. Your practice is not one of manipulation, but of mindful nurturing. It is not about controlling inhalation or exhalation, but about observing the subtleties of each respiratory wave, feeling the natural pause that unfolds between them, like a portal to the fertile void where coherence is sown. This gentle observation, devoid of judgment, is the water and light that your seed of coherence yearns for, allowing your physiology to respond with an energetic alignment, without resistance. It is the surrender to the wisdom of the universe that resides in every cell of your being, reverberating a melody of deep peace that you do not create, but discover. By embracing this permission, you invite breath to become a mirror, not of your effort, but of your deep intention to be in coherence. Feel now as you read the lightness that arises when you no longer try to push air in or out. Notice the magical instant between inhalation and exhalation, that sacred void where time seems to suspend, and where the very structure of your quantum field reconfigures itself. It is in this space of non-action that your body's innate intelligence takes command, recalibrating your energetic and physiological systems to a state of optimized resonance. Coherence, then, is not a destination to be reached by a technique, but a frequency to be inhabited, a state of being that radiates from the center of your observer. When you allow, instead of force, your own neuroplasticity is activated, rewriting stress patterns into a model of fluidity and harmony. This manifests in your daily life as a sense of inner calm, even amidst chaos, proving that your peace does not depend on external circumstances, but on your internal permission. You might feel a voice whispering in your mind, "But how can I simply allow? Shouldn't I actively do something?" This doubt is natural, a remnant of the programming that taught us that effort is synonymous with value and result. I validate this concern as it arises from a place of desire for progress. But the true paradigm shift here is to recognize that active non-doing is, in fact, the most powerful action you can undertake. It is conscious surrender that opens the portal to the unconditional wisdom of your body. When you surrender control, your breath naturally finds its ideal rhythm, one that is in deep harmony with the pulsation of the universe, with the unified field of all possibilities. This is the core of Observer's Breath Coherence, a practice of trusting the intelligence that sustains life, allowing it to orchestrate your internal alignment. Are you ready to let go of control and trust in your body's innate wisdom to find its own rhythm of coherence, letting your breath be the perfect expression of your being? Feel the promise that resides in this permission. It is not an invitation to passivity, but to a higher kind of action, an action born of stillness and trust. By allowing your breath to unfold into its natural coherence, you are activating an internal resonance that aligns you with the frequency of your highest essence, your soul. This innate body intelligence, often overshadowed by the noise of doing, knows exactly how to balance your systems, how to heal, how to manifest well-being. It only needs your permission, your loving and detached observation. It is a return to your original state of totality, where the division between mind, body, and spirit dissolves into a harmonious unity. And when you activate this permission, what happens to your reality? How does this internal coherence manifest in the external world, transforming your experiences and attracting what you most desire? If this new perspective resonates with your soul and ignites a flame of recognition within you, share this video with someone you love, someone who also seeks this deep inner peace and transformative clarity. Now, understand that Observer's Breath Coherence is not a mere refuge of inner peace, an ephemeral pause in the tumultuous symphony of existence, but a master key, a powerful catalyst that extends far beyond the limits of your internal perception, reshaping the very fabric of your manifested reality. Have you ever experienced the feeling that, even in your moments of greatest clarity, external reality seemed to resist as if the universe had its own plans, oblivious to your deepest desires? This disconnect, this friction you may have felt, is not a sign that your desires are unattainable, but an indication of a subtle misalignment, a lack of resonance between the energy field that you are and what you wish to attract. It's as if your consciousness was whispering, while your body vibrated at a different frequency, creating a cacophony instead of a harmonious melody. But when your observer and your breath merge in a choreography of deep coherence, this misalignment dissolves, and you begin to dance with the quantum field itself. Realize that your breath, this constant and vital flow, is not merely a physiological act. It is the rhythmic pulse of your energetic body, the tangible link between the macrocosm and the microcosm, a vibrational bridge that constantly sends and receives signals. When you allowed your observer to align with the innate intelligence of your breath, releasing the need for control and embracing permission, you activated an internal resonance that transformed your personal energy field. Feel now, in your center, this subtle expansion, this newfound lightness. This state of being is not an empty abstraction. It is a measurable frequency, a unique energetic signature that you radiate to the universe. And the universe, in its infinite wisdom and perfection, responds to this frequency with surgical precision. You are, in this exact moment of coherence, redefining the terms of your contract with reality, sending a signal so clear and potent that the cosmos can do nothing but reflect back what you intend. Imagine yourself now not just as an individual inhabiting the world, but as a perfectly tuned antenna, a beacon of light and intention in the vast cosmic ocean. Your breath, your physical and energetic body in its totality, is the physical structure of this antenna, while your observer, your awakened and coherent consciousness, is the sophisticated control panel that adjusts the tuning. When this antenna is in perfect resonance, when the gentle, allowed rhythm of your breath is in harmony with the unshakable clarity and pure intention of your observer, you become a transmitter and receiver of frequencies of extraordinary power. Have you ever felt the frustration of trying to tune a radio to a weak signal, only to receive static? Your life might have felt that way when your internal coherence was fragmented. But now, with Observer's Breath Coherence, you grasp the essence of clarity and radiate a frequency so crystalline that the universe cannot ignore it. This perfect tune, this coherence between your internal field and your intention, exponentially amplifies the power of your ability to manifest. When the observer is dispersed, intention dissipates. It's like trying to send a message through a broken cable. The energy is lost before reaching its destination. But when you allow breath and observer to unify, every intentional thought, every genuine desire, gains an incomparable vibrational charge. You are no longer pushing a river against the current. You are becoming the river, flowing with the totality of your energy, and every drop of that flow carries your intention with a magnetic force. Think of how a laser concentrates light into a single point, making it powerful enough to cut metal. Your intention, when unified by Observer's Breath Coherence, acquires that same quality of focus and power, cutting through the dense layers of reality to materialize what you desire with unparalleled precision. Your intention, in this state of coherence, is no longer an anxious wanting, but a serene knowing, a vibration of anticipated possession that resonates with the inevitability of manifestation. Have you ever tried to force results in your life, only to encounter resistance and frustration? This struggle is an echo of a lack of coherence, a sign that the internal frequency was not aligned with the desire. Now, by embracing Observer's Breath Coherence, you free yourself from this need for strenuous effort. It's not about trying harder, but about being more, being the very frequency of what you wish to attract. You become a vibrational magnet, not through manipulation or control, but through alignment and permission. Feel the lightness that arises as you realize that manifestation is not a battle to be won, but a dance to be enjoyed, a natural flow from your expanded being into your everyday experience. This fusion of the internal field with external reality transforms the process of manifestation from arduous effort into an elegant flow. In the quantum realm, we observe that reality is fluid, existing as a sea of possibilities until the observer's consciousness collapses the wave of probability into a defined reality. When your observer is in deep coherence with your breath, you are not just observing, you are actively participating with clarity and power in this wave collapse. Your intention becomes such a concentrated creative force that the universe is compelled to respond, bringing into existence the experiences that resonate with the frequency you radiate. This is not magic. It is physics applied to consciousness, a deep understanding of how your unified presence shapes the fabric of reality around you, step by step, moment by moment, with a precision that once seemed unattainable. Notice that the resonance generated by your observer's breath coherence begins to manifest in subtle yet undeniable ways in your daily life, externally reflecting the alignment you've cultivated internally. Situations that once seemed insurmountable begin to resolve with unexpected fluidity. Synchronicities become more frequent, gently guiding you to the people, opportunities, and resources that align with your goals. You feel a growing ease in attracting not only what you consciously desire, but also that which serves your highest good, often in ways your limited mind could never have conceived. Feel this sensation of being in the flow, of being sustained by a greater intelligence, where every step is guided and every intention is amplified. It's as if the universe were conspiring in your favor, not by chance but by design, responding to the clarity and totality of your vibrational frequency. This state of unshakable coherence allows your intentions to flow frictionlessly, transmuting desires into reality with surprising ease. What was once a distant dream begins to anchor itself in the tangible, not through forced struggle, but through a magnetic attraction generated by your own resonance. You discover that resistance dissolves, obstacles become opportunities, and doubt gives way to unshakable trust in your ability to create. You begin to realize that you are not seeking manifestation, but rather allowing it, inviting it to unfold naturally and organically, like a flower blossoming in perfect time. Feel the certainty that emerges from knowing that you are the silent maestro of your experience, and that each coherent breath is tuning the instruments of your internal orchestra, so that the melody of your life resonates with the fullness of your essence. What would your life be like if your intentions flowed frictionlessly into reality, propelled by the unshakable coherence of your being? Allow yourself to deeply feel this question. Feel the texture of this possibility, the lightness of this existence where struggle is replaced by fluidity and effort by alignment. Imagine a day where every desire born in your heart finds a clear and unobstructed path to manifestation, not by magic, but by a deep understanding and application of your own energy. Feel the peace that comes from knowing you are in total harmony with the field, that your frequency is perfectly tuned to the abundance of the universe, and that your reality is a faithful reflection of the coherence you sustain. Let this vision permeate every cell of your body, every fiber of your being, inviting it to become your new truth. Now that we understand the intrinsic power and transformative practice of Observer's Breath Coherence, this conscious fusion between your observer's field and the reality of your breath, the journey does not end here. The challenge, and the most sublime opportunity, lies in how we can weave this mastery into our daily tapestry, sustaining this state of being amidst the rhythms and challenges of everyday life. This is the threshold for a deeper integration, to make this coherence second nature, an unshakable foundation that shapes every moment. Click the subscribe button and activate the bell to not miss the upcoming insights that will deepen your journey of manifestation and coherence, revealing the secrets to maintaining this perfect tune, further expanding your ability to create a reality that reflects the magnificence of your being.